If you're building an app, you're planning to build an app, this video is for you. Today I'm going to share 7 essentials on how to control your development costs. I work with over 50 startups and I am surrounded by tech startups, and I've seen it all the time that startups build and they build and build and build, and the costs get out of control before they make any revenue. So today I thought it would be a really good idea to share some of the essentials that will help you to keep your costs down, and it will be 7 altogether. 7! Let's get started. Number 1 is to pick the right team. If you're planning to engage an app development team, make sure that you reach out to at least 2 or 3 app development agencies. They can be locally, they can be based overseas. I don't believe that this matters in these days anymore. You can work perfectly fine with a team in the same office space as somewhere, at the end of the world. It's the same thing. When you reach out to them, make sure you understand how they charge. Do they charge on hourly rates, or do they offer fixed prices? When I work with startups, I offer fixed prices because that enables them to plan their budget and plan ahead. And usually that's what I would recommend. Make sure that you get someone who is able to work with you on a fixed price. That also gives you the ability to be very clear, not for yourself, but also the agency, on what you're going to build. So that means there is more planning in advance, but it does help you to keep your deadlines tight and make sure you're not extending development for months and months and months. And it also controls the cost in that sense. And also make sure that the developers that you work with, the team, the agency, whoever it is, have done it before, so they know how to build apps in a lean way. So you start off with MVP, so that's a minimum viable product, and you roll that out, and then as you develop and grow your company, you develop more features for your application. Number 2, before you get started on building your app, is validate your problem. That means it actually is a step before validating your startup idea that applies you have a solution for a problem. What actually is the problem? So does the problem really exist, and how big are the pain points for your potential customers? Who are your customers, and are they willing to pay for your solution? So that's one of the crucial steps. Validate your problem, then validate your startup idea, and then start building your app. If you want to know more about this, because I could go on about this forever, it's a very complex topic, I actually wrote a book about how you can validate your startup idea before you build, and that, my friends, you can download from my website. So I'm going to include a link, and it's free, so you can download it. It's a gift from me to you, so you can read up more on how you can validate your problem and your startup idea and so on, and how you can build in a lean and cost-effective way without wasting money or time. Number 3 is brainstorm solutions for that problem that you have identified and validated, and test your solutions with real users. So what I mean with that is there are many different solutions for a problem. The idea behind the brainstorm is to come up with all the possible solutions, so you can actually identify the solution that is the most cost effective and most viable for your business. So once you wrote down all your solutions, you can look at, okay, what is the most complex solution, and so where do I spend the most money, where will it take me way more time, effort, resources, skills, experience, and so on. So you kick that one out, and you really look at what's the most viable solution for me to take my business to the next level, which would be probably generating revenue. And that also means what solution is the easiest to develop. And the next thing that you do is you look at the market fit. So what solution will be the easiest market fit for your potential customers? So what solution can you provide that has the least learning curve for your customers? So what's the most intuitive solution that they will just pick up and integrate in their day or whatever they do, and to solve the problem that they have. Number 4, I mentioned it a few times now, MVP. Keep it minimum viable product. That's what MVP means, and keep it that way, because otherwise you're going to spend lots and lots of money, and most likely you will waste your money, your time, your energy, your resources in building the wrong thing. By building an MVP, that means you focus on the feature that is the most important in order for your customers to start using your product. So it does deliver a solution for your customers. Test it with your customers, with real users, see how they engage with your product, see how they use it, and then learn from that and measure the results also with analytics and with interviewing your customers and so on. Take all that knowledge and improve that feature, iterate it as much as you have to deliver the best customer experience and solve your customers' problems before you jump to the next feature. Number 5, define your metrics. What I mean with that is everything has a purpose. Your app has a purpose. You probably also have some business goals, which could be making revenue. So how much revenue is that? How big do you want to grow the company? So be very clear about your long-term goals, business goals, and your short-term business goals. And around those goals, you will define the metrics on how you will measure the results or success of reaching that goal. For example, a short-term goal could be that you plan to fundraise. So in order to fundraise, so that's a business goal, what do you need to put in place to be an attractive business for investors? So how you can do that is by going to investors and having an initial chat and ask them what they would want to see, like what type of numbers, in order for them to say, okay, this has convinced me now, this is a growing company and with lots of potential, and I want to invest and be part of it. So define your metrics. Important. Very important. Number 6, I mentioned that before, but it is essential. Testing, and collecting data from your users in order to understand how they engage with your product. Do you really solve their problem? And if you don't, what can you do to solve their problem? What can you do to grow your users? What can you do to get more engagement, user engagement, and so on? And you do that by testing. So build and then test. Testing is more important than building something for a very long time. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to solve the initial problem that you identified, and it needs to solve it in a way that I guess it is acceptable for your customers so that they will use it, and then along the way you improve the product. By testing and collecting data and really monitoring how your users using your product, you're able to build something that your customers are going to love and are willing to pay for it. Test, test, test. Again, the book that I wrote talks about this intensively. You can download it from my website. I'll include the link in the description box. Also have a look at the Lean Startup. I will post a link to that book. That's a good one to read, and it gives you a very, very good idea of how building Lean works. And number 7 is get a mentor on board. Whoever it is that you're working with, the development team or the agency that you work with. Make sure there's somebody on that team who has gone through the process before, who knows how to build lean, who knows how to create an MVP, who knows how to test and measure, and in order to reach the business goals that you want to accomplish. And you can also get somebody externally, a mentor, so somebody, for example, who's gone through that process before in their own venture, who has built apps and can give you weekly advice and guidance to make sure you are on track of your goals and can keep you accountable if you drift off. So these are the 7 essentials to make sure you're not wasting time, resources, finances to build your product. I hope you find this video helpful. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more how-to videos. Also, if you have any questions, I know there was a lot of information in here, leave a comment. I will create a new video on it. Or if you have any other questions that are not maybe related to this video, but something else within your startup, leave a comment and I will create a video for you. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching all the way. High five. And I wish you guys a beautiful day. Bye. I talk very fast. Okay. Number 3. And by I need to stop doing that. That's freaking weird. Number 7. Oh, because this is so long. It's so long. And yeah.